Welcome to the Rundown. I'm your host, Ryan. Tonight we start off with a sad story. Of course, it's the shooting at the Catholic Church in Minneapolis, Minnesota. What makes it particularly tragic is that most of the victims were children between the ages of 6 and 15, with two of those who died being of ages 8 and 10. There are 17 people wounded in total, 14 of them children, but the good news is that those 14 are expected to make full recoveries. A motive for the shooting is not clear. Suspect is known by the name of Robin Westman, though previously it was Robert Westman, which leads many to believe that this person identified as trans, hence the name change. This is not yet confirmed, and there's no other affiliation that we can find between this person and this Catholic church, other than that his mother had worked there some years prior. There have been some videos posted online of this suspect or of the person that is believed to be responsible. They have not been confirmed to be authentic, but what you do see is fairly disturbing, and it does seem like the person who made this or made these videos was undergoing some severe psychological issues. Again, it's too early to tell exactly what the motives were and what the mental state of this person was. This person was found dead on the scene um, from a gunshot wound that was self-inflicted. So there's a lot of details still yet to come out, and Art is our editor-in-chief will be talking about that tomorrow in depth. So you can look forward to that. Next up is, of course, Donald Trump with two stories in the rundown, and they're kind of both sides of the coin that is Donald Trump. You never know which Donald you're going to get. So on the one hand, we have Donald Trump talking very tough about India and the tariffs. He's put on a 50% tariff on India because they have not stopped buying Russian oil. Now, of course, the Russian oil sales is how Russia is fueling its war in Ukraine, and Trump really wants to put an end to this war. So he gave them an ultimatum. The ultimatum passed. The Indian government has not yet responded, and they are currently in talks and negotiations. Now, India is notorious for having high tariffs themselves, but this makes sense for a country like India. They are going through rapid economic development, and they have the manpower and production capacity to produce many of their own goods for themselves. So it helps their economy to keep out foreign goods for the most part. Critics of this plan say that increasing the tariffs on Indian goods is going to hurt people in the US more than it is India, just because of the trade imbalance. We buy a lot more of their things at very low prices. They don't buy a lot of ours at all. So we're expecting, or critics say that we should expect to see these um, the tariffs on Indian goods increase goods here domestically in the United States. Now, the Indian government has also pointed out that there are other countries that are buying Russian oil. In fact, there's one that's buying more than India, apparently, and that, of course, is China. And that brings us into our segment where Trump has upset quite a few of the MAGA faithful by stating recently that he's intending on allowing 600,000 Chinese students into the United States to study at our universities. Currently, there's about 275,000 Chinese students in the United States. Now, when asked why this was necessary, Trump had said that he doesn't think it's fair to turn them away, that he wants them here, and that if we did turn them away, 15% of the universities that we have would close because they just wouldn't have the income from these foreign students. Now, those are expected to be the 15% at the bottom of universities in terms of performance and income. But still, that's a sizable amount. Now, Critics on the MAGA side are very upset about this because they're saying that this is not America first, that we don't want Chinese students coming to U.S. Universities because it's only going to aid China in their weapons development and weapons modernization. For example, most of the Chinese students are studying the hard sciences, physics, chemistry, etc. Uh, some of these people have suggested that maybe they should be allowed to take the humanities courses, learn a little bit more about European or Western culture. I don't know. I think kind of with the amount of intellectual property that China steals, I don't know that keeping out 19-year-olds from our universities or 22-year-olds getting master's or doctorate degrees is really going to make that much of a difference now. But hey, who knows? In any case, Trump's supporters are not in favor of it. They would much rather see those colleges go out of business because they're obviously not performing well than give the Chinese an opportunity to take from us things that we might not want them to have. Again, a lot of speculation, not a lot that we can actually prove, but there's these are the numbers that you see worldwide. So you can see that India and China do make up the majority of foreign students, with India actually surpassing China recently, and the Chinese numbers are expected to fall because of all the conflicts that we've had, or diplomatic tiffs between the United States and China. In any case, we'll see if this stays or if this gets retracted or modified. With Donald Trump, you never know. I mean, he says this today, he could change his mind tomorrow. So we'll see. But thanks for stopping by. And as always, don't forget to subscribe.